Ladies and gentlemen, Eagles fans everywhere, buckle up because we've got some drama brewing in the city of brotherly love that's got everyone talking. What if I told you that one of the NFL's most explosive wide receivers, a guy who's been a cornerstone of Philadelphia's high-flying offense, is feeling a bit sidelined? That's right, we're diving headfirst into the latest buzz surrounding A.J. Brown and the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. It's the kind of story that reminds us why we love this game: passion, frustration, and that unyielding drive to win. Now, let's break it all down, from the headlines to the heart of the matter. First off, the big picture. The Eagles are sitting pretty at 4-0 to start the 2025 season, folks. That's no small feat in the brutal NFC East, where every game feels like a street fight. They've kicked things off with gritty wins over rivals like the Dallas Cowboys in Week 1, then powered through the Kansas City Chiefs, the Los Angeles Rams, and most recently, a nail-biter against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past Sunday, 31-25. Philadelphia's offense has been a mix of run-heavy dominance and timely passes, but not everyone's thrilled with how the ball's being distributed. Enter A.J. Brown, the three-time Pro Bowler who's been vocal about wanting more action. Head coach Nick Sirianni stepped up to the podium on Monday and shut down any whispers of discontent turning into a full-blown exit. Obviously, A.J. is very important to this football team, Sirianni said, emphasizing that Brown's frustrations aren't about bolting from Philly but about contributing to this perfect start. He wants to be that game changer, the guy hauling in those deep balls and turning Lincoln Financial Field into a roaring sea of green. Sirianni added, "I know he wants to contribute and do the things he's capable of doing. He wants to contribute into these wins, and he's had a couple games where he hasn't been able to for different reasons." And get this, Sirianni's got zero doubts about Brown's heart. "I question nothing about his desire to play great football, his desire of being a good teammate, his desire to be here." That's the kind of leadership that keeps a locker room tight, especially for a team chasing back-to-back glory. Now, let's rewind and unpack what sparked all this. After that Buccaneers win, Brown skipped the post-game media scrum, unusual for a guy who's usually all smiles and soundbites. Then, he drops this cryptic post on X, a modern twist on a Bible verse. "If you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way." Whoa, talk about stirring the pot. Eagles Nation went into overdrive, speculating if this was a subtle shot at the coaching staff or just a moment of reflection. But context is key here. Last week, Brown opened up to reporters about the team's conservative approach. "Me personally, I truly believe we've got so many good players on this team, and at times you can feel like we're being conservative," he said. "I don't think it should be like that. I think it should be let your killers do their thing and play fast and play aggressive. I'm not saying that we haven't been, but me personally, that's what I would like." Brown's got a point. When he's on, he's unstoppable. Let's look at the numbers, because stats don't lie. In the season opener against those hated Cowboys, yeah, the ones who've been Philly's thorn since the days of Tom Landry versus Dick Vermeil, Brown wasn't targeted until the final drive. But he made it count, snagging an 8-yard catch to seal a 24-20 victory. Against the Chiefs, 5 grabs for 27 yards, not his flashiest, but solid. Then he exploded versus the Rams. 6 receptions, 109 yards, reminding everyone why he's a matchup nightmare. But Sunday against Tampa? 9 targets, only 2 catches for 7 yards. Ouch. That's not the A.J. Brown we know, the one who racked up at least 1,079 yards in each of his first 3 seasons with the Eagles. And don't forget his playoff heroics last winter. 12 catches, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns over 4 games, helping Philly hoist that Lombardi Trophy for Super Bowl 59. That's the stuff of legends, right up there with the 2017 Miracle Run when Nick Foles shocked the world against Tom Brady's Patriots. Diving deeper into the analysis, this all ties into the Eagles' offensive identity under Sirianni and offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. Phillies leaned hard on the ground game early this season, with Saquon Barkley, remember, the former Giant star who crossed enemy lines to join the Birds, pounding the rock and opening up play-action opportunities for quarterback Jalen Hurts. Hurts, the dual-threat phenom who's evolved from a raw talent out of Alabama and Oklahoma into an MVP candidate, has been efficient, but the passing games felt a tad restrained. Brown's calling for more aggression, and who can blame him? With weapons like Devonta Smith, the Slim Reaper himself, a Heisman winner from Alabama who's as smooth as silk, and tight end Dallas Goedert, This offense has the potential to be an aerial assault like the Andy Reid days with Donovan McNabb slinging to Terrell Owens. Tactically, it's about balance. The defensive line, anchored by the likes of Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, young bucks carrying on the legacy of Reggie White, the Minister of Defense who terrorized quarterbacks in the 80s and 90s, has been stout, allowing the offense to play from ahead. But if Brown's targets stay low, it could disrupt chemistry. Injuries haven't helped. The O-line's been banged up, forcing protections that limit deep shots. Comparatively, look at last season. Eagles started hot but faded late due to similar conservative calls. Statistically, Brown's yards per target are down from his career 9.5 average to around 7.0 this year, per Pro Football Focus. That's a red flag for a team aiming to repeat as champs. For some historical context, this isn't new in Eagles lore. Remember the 2004 season? T.O. was frustrated early, but once unleashed, he propelled Philly to the Super Bowl. Or go back to the Brian Dawkins era, the Weapon X, a safety who embodied Philly's grit. Dawkins once said, "You gotta fight for every inch," and that's the mentality Brown brings. Eagles trivia time. Did you know the "Fly Eagles Fly" chant started in the 1960s, inspired by the team's fight song? It's belted out after every score at the Link, where fans are as rowdy as they come. Think throwing snowballs at Santa levels of passion, but in a good way now. And those rivalries? The Cowboys, America's team versus Philly's underdogs. The Giants, with epic clashes like the Miracle at the Meadowlands. Even the Commanders, formerly Redskins, add fuel. Pop culture-wise, it's like Rocky Balboa training montages meeting Invincible, the Mark Wahlberg film based on Vince Papale's true story of making the Eagles as a walk-on. To get more insight, imagine if we caught up with a fictional Eagles insider, say, veteran analyst Howard Eskin from Philly Sports Radio. "Look, AJ's a competitor," Eskin might say in our imagined chat. "He's not throwing tantrums, he's pushing for excellence. Sirianni's smart to back him publicly, it keeps the band together." Or picture a fan at a South Philly tailgate, "AJ's our guy. Let him eat, coach. We've waited too long since that 2017 ring to play it safe." Even Jason Kelce, the retired center-turned-podcaster and Eagles legend, brother of Travis, the Chiefs star and Taylor Swift's beau, could chime in, "Frustration's part of the game, but talent like AJ's? You gotta feed the beast." Looking ahead, what does this mean for the Eagles? If they address Brown's concerns, it could supercharge their offense just in time for tougher tests, like the upcoming matchup against the San Francisco 49ers, a rematch of last year's NFC Championship thriller. Predictions. I see Philly finishing 13-4, with Brown bouncing back to 1,200-plus yards. Playoff implications are huge. A resolved locker room means a deep run, maybe another Super Bowl parade down Broad Street. But if tensions simmer, it could echo the 2020 implosion under Doug Peterson. Eagles faithful, this is your team, tough, resilient, and always ready to soar. So, what are you waiting for? Tune in to the next game, grab your green gear, and let's keep that undefeated streak alive. Fly, Eagles, fly. Until next time, this is your NFL anchor signing off. Stay passionate, stay informed.